Zambia is boring, you guys. Like, we don't have... Yeah, I was 10 when the last season premiered, so... I was not supposed to be watching any of that. But... Hello and welcome back to my channel. And yes, you read the title correctly. Today we are indeed going to be talking about the slay of all slays, Big Brother Africa. Now, I have said this many times before, like, Zambia is boring, you guys. Like, we don't have reality shows, we don't have like celebrity magazines, we don't have stuff that like mainly focuses on pop culture. Again, I know, yes, we have bigger things to focus on as a country, but like, this stuff is important also, you guys. Like, we need some form of entertainment apart from like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. But for those of you who are children, who are too young to remember, we once had Big Brother Africa. For those of you who don't know, Big Brother Africa is basically the African version of the franchise Big Brother, which was started in 1997. The first season of Big Brother Africa aired in 2003 and the last season aired in 2014. It was cancelled due to like the Big Brother house burnt down and then they lost sponsors, and I think they haven't been able to get them back. Like, there have been rumors of it coming back since like forever. We are still waiting for it to come back. The rumors of Big Brother Zambia, still waiting for that. So we don't know where the series stands as at now. Like, yes, Big Brother Niger exists for Nigeria and Big Brother SA, is that a thing? I didn't research that for this, but yes, today I'm mainly going to be focusing on Big Brother Zambia and the stuff that I in particular remember about it, and just why it was so iconic and why it basically shaped me into the person I am today. Stay true to yourself. So I'm going to run through a quick list of participants who competed in Big Brother Africa from Zambia, and like where they ended, how fast they were evicted, stuff like that. So the first contestant we had was Cherise, participated in Big Brother 1 and finished first place. She won the first ever Big Brother Africa, which slay. Like, that's iconic behavior on its own. Like, we won the first ever Big Brother Africa. Yes, sometimes Zambia was forgotten and were evicted pretty fast, but we won the first ever edition. That's something they'll never be able to take away from us. Then there was Maxwell, who participated in Big Brother 2. He finished 9th place, becoming the 4th housemate to be evicted. Very big downgrade, but whatever. Takondwa was a participant in Big Brother Africa 3. He finished 7th place, becoming the 6th housemate to be evicted. Maggie was a participant in Big Brother 4, and this is when they started like sending 2 participants per country. So she finished 22nd place, becoming the 4th housemate to be evicted. Paloma also participated in Big Brother Africa 4, finished 17th place, becoming the 8th housemate to be evicted. She returned to participate in Big Brother Africa 5, which was an all-star competition, and she finished 8th place, becoming the 4th housemate to be evicted. Kim was a participant in Big Brother Africa 6. She finished 10th place, becoming the 16th housemate to be evicted. So she went far. She went a bit far, this one. Mumba participated in Big Brother Africa 6 also. Finished 11th place, becoming the 15th housemate to be evicted. So like these guys followed each other, which was so sad. Like, they are so desperate to see us go on, isn't she? Mampi participated in Big Brother 7 as a celebrity housemate. She finished 27th place after she became the 17th housemate to be evicted. So she also stayed for quite some time. Talia participated in Big Brother Africa 7, finished 4th place. Like, she went far. This one went far at least. Like, I think this is where things are turning around for us here. Tamara was a participant in Big Brother Africa 7, finished 14th place after she became the 14th housemate to be evicted. Cleo, who we all know and love, was a participant in Big Brother Africa 8. She finished 2nd place and became the runner-up. 2nd place, like, I remember, we'll talk about that when we're done. Sorry. Sulu was a participant in Big Brother Africa 8. He finished 11th place and became the 18th housemate to be evicted. He went with Cleo. Makitu was a participant in Big Brother Africa 9. He finished 3rd place. And then Risa was a participant in Big Brother Africa 9 also. She finished 26th place after becoming the first housemate to be evicted. Like, I just think it's so funny how we went from being the last to be evicted to being the first to be evicted. Time is a strange thing. I'm only going to talk about 4 of the participants from Zambia, who in my opinion are the 4 most memorable, because like, yeah, why would I talk about everybody? Like, it would take me hours and hours and hours to talk about everything that everybody did while they were in the house. So I'm only going to focus on these 4. So Cherise, this is a little update. Like, this was back in 2017. She's not very active on social media, so this was the only thing I could find about where she is now, or at the time. I think she's probably still in the same situation, but you get the point. So Cherise Mukabale was the first ever winner of the Big Brother Africa reality TV show. The good girl from Zambia walked away with $100,000. Lord, what I would do with that money. On September 7th, 2003, after 106 days in the house, that's like 3 months. 3 months and some days, obviously. But yeah, roughly 3 months. She is said to have been the perfect woman with her homely attributes of cooking and cleaning up in the house.
Be shy, you can at me, sis, cause ain't nothing worse than a pick-me bitch.
She was also never romantically or sexually involved with anyone in the house, even though others were openly acting raunchy. She instead played the role of relationship counselor of the 2 houses' lovebirds. Blah blah blah, not important. When she was asked what she would do with her prize money during the show, she promised to buy her stepfather a house, which she did, plus 2 other properties. After the show, Cherise traveled extensively as a goodwill ambassador for Zambia, girl boss, doing charity work all over Africa, especially spreading awareness on HIV and AIDS, sometimes through UNICEF. In her home country, she made donations to several orphanages and helped raise money for a physically challenged persons skills center in Chipata, which is now called the Cherise Mukabale Resource Center for the Disabled. She also owns an educational park called the Cherise Kids Park. I don't even know if Cherise is still open. Cherise Kids Park. Like, I'm used to calling it just Cherise, but I don't know if it's still open. I don't think I've ever been there actually. I've just heard of it. I didn't even know that it was started by someone who won Big Brother. Anyway, she eventually got married in October 2008 and is now based in London, UK. Cherise is said to still be active in her charitable ventures in Zambia, but is rarely spotted in her hometown of Kitwe. So yeah, that's it about Cherise. Obviously, she did super well with the money that she won and the exposure and the fame or whatever. I hope she's still doing well. Hope she's okay. I don't know how the system was like when it first started in 2003, but as time went on, like, you could actually vote from home for who you wanted to win. So again, for the kiddies who weren't there during the time of Big Brother, like, it had its own dedicated channel on DSTV, and then like while the episode is playing, you could see like at the bottom of the screen they would show like people sending messages, people voting, so you could vote. I never voted. I really wanted to, but the only reason I used to watch Big Brother, of course, it was absolutely not child friendly. Like, I was 10. Yeah, I was 10 when the last season premiered, so I was not supposed to be watching any of that. But a lot of my aunties were in their teenage years when I was 10, so like they used to watch it. Obviously, like they would just eat that stuff up, and obviously I'm a child, so I would just be like, no, but I also want to watch, and they'd be like, okay, come watch. Good times, good times. Anyway, yes, as I was saying, I always wanted to vote, but they never let me vote. They're like, no, it's going to take up too much talk time, no this, no that. I think they're the people who ruined my belief in democracy, because now how am I expected to vote for a president when I never voted for anyone in Big Brother because I was told it wasn't going to work? How? Now, Mampi went into Big Brother as a celebrity. She was already super big here in Zambia by the time she was going to Big Brother. So like everybody had these expectations. They're like, oh, Mampi, Queen Diva, blah, 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 whatever they used to call her. But for the time she was there, she made an impact in the house. Like, how old was I? I was 8 when she went into the house, but I will never forget the salad incident where she was like cooking and she's like, oh, pass me the salad. Oh, like, and then everyone else was like, what does she mean the salad? What does she mean the salad? Like, I know it still haunts her. I know it still haunts her to this day. Then, of course, 2013, we had Cleo and Sulu, which I don't know why. I think it's because like this one was more recent, but it's like so vivid in my mind. Like, I remember watching this edition from the first episode when they were like introducing the people. Oh, another thing like that I miss about the Big Brother channel was like where you could click on like the TV guide, then to show you like all the contestants, and every time someone is evicted it would like blur them out or something like that. That was so cool. Like, I used to do that for fun, you know, like when I'm bored I just go on the Big Brother channel, go on that kind of thing, click, see what's happening. And the fact that it was like 24/7 filming, so you can just come home, go on the Big Brother channel and see what they're doing. Like, it was even when they're not doing anything, when it's not eviction day, when it's not a competition day, you can just see what's going on. You're like, oh cool. Sometimes it was boring, like just be in the sitting room doing nothing. Then sometimes, you know, when it gets spicy. Anyway anyway, yes, like I said, like I remember, this is just from my memory, I'm not going to recount everything that happened while Sulu and Cleo were in the house. I just remember like when they first came in, I think Cleo was already somehow famous by that time. I'm not so sure. I think she was either just starting out her rap career or she became a rapper after that. Again, I don't know how this works, but I remember when they came in, they were being introduced, you know, like Sulu did a backflip actually. I will forever remember that because I was like, oh my goodness, this guy, like, he's so embarrassing. Like, we love him now, wherever he is, we stand you, Sulu. But as time went on, I really thought that Sulu is one who was going to like go further than Cleo. Like, I thought like, oh, okay, she'll be evicted first, then Sulu remain. But no, it was actually like the opposite. Sulu got evicted not super fast, but he did get evicted, I think like somewhere in the middle, and then Cleo went all the way up to the end. Again, another thing I'll never forget, the final night for that Big Brother. It was amazing. For those of you who don't know how the final night was structured, it was like, it wouldn't just be the final two, but there would be like 6. I think Big Brother Niger still works like that. I don't watch it, so I wouldn't know. But there would be like 6 people remaining in the house on the final night. They would get all dressed up. They would sit in the living room. Then previous people who were in the house who had been evicted earlier would be like with the crowd. They would come out, give a speech, blah, blah, blah. If I remember correctly, it was on a Saturday. The final night was on a Saturday, but I watched it on Sunday the next day because it was too late on Saturday and they told me to go sleep. Again, I was 9, so obviously at the bedtime. Sunday morning, I didn't have social media, so obviously there were no spoilers, like nobody knew what was going to happen. It was just me and my auntie, you know, sitting in the sitting room, just like watching what happens. And yeah, we're waiting to see we're waiting to see who's going to like get evicted, what's going to happen to who. And then they call out Sulu. I'm like, oh, Sulu was evicted these weeks ago, shan. They showed his my highlights there. They called him out. They were like, Sulu, come out. He wasn't coming out. Ike again was like, Sulu, like, where is he? Is he sleeping backstage? Again, I don't know why I remember this so vividly, but it's like stuck at the back of my brain. Like when I was sitting writing my grade 12 exam, trying to remember stuff, it wasn't coming. But this Big Brother Africa, which is never coming back, it's stuck in my head for some reason. Anyway, they call him out again, he's not coming out. They call him out again, he's not coming out. And they're like, what's going on? And then from nowhere, he comes out, like the music starts playing, he comes out screaming Ruby, and I'm like, what? The scream, I scramped. Like my auntie was just standing there, she was like, oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god. Like she was hyped and I was just like, purr. So yeah, Sulu came out singing Ruby. Like it still slaps to this day. It still slaps. You can't tell me otherwise. Don't even lie. Don't even try to be cool. Say, oh my goodness, such an old song. Anyways, he came out singing with Salma Sky. I don't know if that's her name. I'm not supposed to be scratching my rash. Like this is what it looks like now. Anyway, yes. So he came out with Salma Sky like, and I was like, yes, get it, yes. Then like everybody was so shocked. Like Ike was like, what is going on? I don't know. To this day, I don't know if they planned that or if he was actually like shocked for real. But he was like, and then Sulu started mentioning like the contestants one by one. They were like, this person. He was like, Pokelo is a Ruby. Like you can go back and watch that whole thing. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. But it was just like watching it live was an experience on its own. Like that happened. He got his whole interview. He was asked about the song and how long he had been planning this, blah blah blah. He was just a vibe. Like he was so nice. Then went back to the eviction. Then Cleo and Delish remained. I was on my knees. I was like, oh my goodness, am I going to witness history? What is happening right now? Whew, I'm getting dehydrated talking about this. Anyway, yes, Cleo and Delish remained. And they were like holding hands like it was Miss Universe or something. They were like, oh my goodness, like who's going to win? Who's going to win? And then Cleo got evicted. My heart. My poor heart. Like I still remember like they announced Cleo as the second runner-up. Then she was like, oh, and then Delish was like, oh yay! Jumped around, the confetti came down, whatever. Cleo hugged her. Like it was still cute. Women supporting women. Yes, we love to see it. And I was like, okay, fine. Like I was sad she didn't win, but still like she was the second runner-up. Was it first? She was the first runner-up. Like she came in second place. Like that's a win in my book. Okay. When they came home, I still remember it was in the newspapers. When they came home, they gave them cars. Like government gave them cars back when things were okay. Again, I don't know why this stuff is stuck in my head, but I still remember the article read like Cleo and Sulu, the sky is the limit or something like that. Anyway, yes, moving on to 2014, which was the last season. Of course, at the time we didn't know it was going to be the last season, but it was the last season. I remember like, again, I watched it from the very beginning, like when they were introducing the characters, they're real people. The cast, when they were introducing them, like they came in, Makitu came in, and I was like, Makitu? Again, I was a child, so maybe they announced this beforehand that we're going to be sending Makitu there, but I didn't know, so I was in shock. I was shook. I was like, oh my god, like do these people know how famous he is in Zambia? I was in shock. Anyway, yes, Makitu went there with some other girl. Like the girl gave me no hope. I still remember like that's when they divided it into houses or something like that. I don't know if they were called houses or whatever they were called, but they were divided and they would give them tasks like each week. So Risa was evicted in the first week. Like I said earlier, we went from being the last person evicted to being the first person evicted. So then it was so funny when they were like playing her highlights for her. They just had like 1 week's worth of footage for her. They showed her like when she entered the house, they showed her eating, they showed her sleeping, they showed her performing with her house on stage, and that was it. Girl, I'm so sorry. Yes, so anyway, after they evicted her, Makitu was our only hope. He was the only Zambian remaining in the house. And then they introduced the freeze thing, and this is when I knew that I loved drama. Because basically what used to happen was Biggie, which was like the voice that used to come at any time. So Biggie would do this thing where he would just appear at any moment and be like, housemates freeze. And then whatever you're doing, you had to freeze. So whether you're bathing, you just had to freeze while bathing. Whether you're sitting, you're like about to sit down, you just freeze like in a squatting position. Whether you're cooking, you just freeze there with the things. It was so much fun. Like, and then when they would freeze, they added another element where they would bring in a housemate's relative into the house. So like this one guy who I had a crush on, like he ended up winning, but I had a crush on him. Like he was 10-year-old me was gassed when I saw this guy on my TV screen. I was like, hello. Of course I never told anyone this, because if I dared to say no, I like him, he's pretty, my aunties, my cousins, they would have never let me live that down. But anyway, yes, so like I remember Idris's grandmother is the one who came, and she was like so sweet. She was like, oh, we're all so proud of you, we're waiting for you to come home. And I cried. I was like, that's my grandmother-in-law. Anyway, yes, and then to the interesting part. So Makitu was comfortable. I don't know if saying this is going to bring up old memories that might ruin things for him now, but it's all over the internet, so it's not my fault. Anyway, Makitu was comfortable with this girl. I think her name was like, was she Spiwe? I remembered her name. Oh my goodness. It started with an S. I'll check it out later. But yes, anyway, he was comfortable with this girl like throughout the whole time he was in the house. Like he would be sitting with her, like they would be talking, sitting next to each other on the chair, dancing with each other, you know the vibes. And then like they were in bed this one time, and Big Brother was shady because they didn't show him getting into bed. They didn't show like what they were talking about. They didn't show them at all. They just said freeze. Like then they started showing like all the other housemates, like these people in the garden, these people here, these people there. Then they showed Makitu in bed with that same girl. They were just sleeping. Like laying in the bed and they were freezing. Like they're in the middle of a conversation. And then his girlfriend, now wife, went into the house. Like, oh my god, I was gassed. I was like, again, this is how I knew I loved drama, because I was like, I want something to happen. I need something to happen at this moment in time. She went to the house, and she was fine. She was wearing kind of a black dress with 2 heels, and she went there. She's like, then I also think she didn't know where he was. They probably just thought that he's in the bedroom. Then she was like, okay. And then she went there, and then she played it cool. She didn't lose the script. She went there, said what she had to say. Was like, oh, I miss you and I love you. Can't wait for you to come back home. We're all voting for you, babe. Shan. Then she walked out. I know in her heart she was like, I was sad. I was very sad because I wanted something to happen. I wanted hands to be thrown. Then of course, because both of them are frozen, they wouldn't have been able to fight back. So I wanted her to, but she was chilled. She went there, did what she was supposed to do, left, and then they unfroze, and oh my goodness, like everyone in the house was like, oh my goodness, who was that? And they went, they found it was Makitu, and they're like, oh my goodness, your girl found you like this? Fast forward to the end, because I can't remember anything else that happened. I'm sorry, I have a bad memory, and this video is already like pretty long. So anyway, fast forward to the end. Again, there was like a final 6 or final 10 or whatever it was in the house. Then like Makitu had made it all the way to the end. So again, I had some hope from the previous year. I was like, okay, he might win. He's super famous. People have been voting for him in Zambia. He might win. He came out 4th place, as we previously discussed, which was still good. Like he was in the top 4. Like I remember like seeing other people being evicted and he's still there, and I was like, could it be? Then he got evicted, which was sad. Like they hugged him because he was a really good sport while he was in the house. I don't think he made any enemies while he was there. I can't remember. I didn't really pay attention, but yeah, it happens sometimes. That was basically it. I don't know what I'll be reviewing next, but Big Brother Africa was a slay. Again, for the kiddos who didn't have the opportunity to experience it the way I did, for people who are too young, who don't really remember, who didn't get to see all the things that I got to see, I'm sorry. I hope there's something that equally entertains you, but otherwise nothing can beat Big Brother. I'm sorry, I just had to say it. Maybe the OG Big Brother, because I think it's still going on. Like when I say OG, I mean like Big Brother, I don't know if it's Europe or North America or whatever it is. I think it's still going on, but I've never watched that, so I can't be the judge of that. Yeah, that will be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more reviews of more past shows or present shows or anything like that, please be sure to subscribe. That will help my channel a lot. Thank you so much if you subscribed from my previous video. I will be uploading again next week, hopefully, fingers crossed. And again, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like the video, share the video, and comment below what your favorite moments from Big Brother Africa were, or anything that you just remember about the show. Comment below. I want to read your comments. Let's talk, let's interact. Also follow my other social media, which is linked in the description below, my TikTok and my Instagram, because I do some stuff over there. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.